Transport Minister Barbara Creecy is conducting an oversight visit of the Port of Mossel Bay in the Western Cape. So let's hear what she's saying.
Since over the last 10 years or so, that industry has been declining. At the moment, there is also no longer offshore importation, exploration of gas. And as a result of that, activities of this port have been somewhat declined, and that obviously impacts on the broader region and the economic ecosystem. So today we are understanding what are the longer term plans to develop this port and to create greater economic opportunities for the community of Mossel Bay. What we understand is that currently there's a request for information that Transnet has put out for the development of this port. And on Wednesday, there will be a big meeting taking place with all of the relevant economic stakeholders as well as governance stakeholders to explain about the RFI and also to make sure that we do have necessary expressions of interest by the time this RFI closes on the 6th of December. Already, this port is serving as a destination for cruise tourism. Initially, we started off a couple of years ago with only a few cruise vessels visiting here. Last year, the number was up to 26 cruise vessels, and behind me where you see the green fencing on the other side of the water, that is where we are busy constructing a reception center for tourists. This port now has permission for cruise tourists to land here, and obviously that means that they can explore Mossel Bay and George, or they can go and holiday in the garden route. The longer term plan is that the quay on which we are standing is going to be expanded to the north so that we have access to deeper water, and cruise vessels, larger cruise vessels of 300 meters can actually come alongside this quay. At the moment, as you would know, the cruise vessels park offshore, anchor offshore, and visitors are brought in by smaller boats. But obviously, if the swells are high or if there's high wind, then it's not possible for passengers to disembark, and the town loses out on that tourism opportunity. So that's why we want to extend this quay so that cruise vessels can come alongside. Fishing is, of course, a very important industry here, and the green building you see behind me is a fish processing plant, and what we have along that side is mooring facilities for fishing vessels. The intention is to expand the back of port activities to support the fishing industry, and the tour we went on with the bus earlier showed the Transnet land, which TNPA is busy acquiring so that we can engage in those back of port activities. Agriculture is a very important activity in this region, and we are inviting various agricultural associations to come to the meeting that's taking place on Wednesday so that we can understand what interest the agricultural industry would have in this port, either in terms of the long term as an export facility, or in terms of the short term to move goods to one of the major agricultural export ports of either Port Elizabeth or the city of Cape Town. Of course, marine engineering, ship building and ship repair has always been a big activity here, and behind me you can't really see because it's round the corner on the other side of the fish processing plant. There's a slipway there. There are plans to begin the upgrade of that slipway so that it can accommodate vessels up to 500 meters and would have much more modern facilities for repair of fishing vessels. So the long-term thinking about this port is to look at agriculture, tourism, marine engineering, fishing, and obviously it would still be a terminal where we would be bringing in liquid bulk as is required. I think I'll pause there and we can then do Q&A.
Thank you, Minister. Colleagues, those are the remarks from the Minister. We will now open for Q&A. Any questions that you might have, please just raise your hand.
Thank you.
But also indicate what media house you're representing, your name and the media house, and then the question. Let's take the first round of questions, if there are any. Was it at 100% clear? No question, no comment.
Yeah.
Well understood. Okay, so let's see how many. Let's check on the stations that would want to do one-on-ones with the Minister.
Okay. Two corrections.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Two corrections. The date of the closing of the RFI now is the 29th of November, not the 6th of December. And the vessels that can be repaired here will be 500 tons, not 500 meters. Thank you.
Thanks, Minister. There was one hand that was raised.
They're asking for one-on-one.
You're ready for the one-on-one? SABC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to have one-on-one?
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's why.
Newsroom, one-on-one? ENCA? Yes, please. One-on-one. Minister,
all right, Transport Minister Barbara Creecy there in Mossel Bay. This is the Port of Mossel Bay in the Western Cape, a really important site as well. And she's talking about ramping up operations there to build those capabilities to support areas like tourism, with the ability to have cruise vessels dock in the bay as well.